This is going to be a little rough. This is the first one we're doing, but we're going to do a cooking show, lesson, whatever. Making dinner. Going to do stuffed cabbage. Pretty much only 3 ingredients. You've got the cabbage, you've got ground pork. You can switch it up. You can do ground lamb, you can do ground beef. I like the pork. And a big can of tomato soup. I'm always afraid I'm going to run out or I'll have to water it down, so I usually go for the big one, not the little one. Need a baking dish, some non-stick spray. I'm getting a head start, boiled the water, and I turned the oven on because, you know, TV magic. So first what we want to do, we want to make sure the pork is defrosted because I didn't know that when I went to the store now. Normally I have it and I do the cabbage a couple days later, so it's already thawed in the fridge. But so when I got it, it was frozen, so want to defrost it. Next step is going to be the cabbage. You want to take this little nub off. So we're just going to cut it off. And then I'm sure there's a fancy way to core this out, but you're only interested in the leaves, so I'm just going to start peeling them back. Wow, the silence is deafening.
Yes. I agree.
It's okay if you tear them. It doesn't have to be pretty. If I get little broken pieces, then I'll just wrap the meat a couple of times.
Are you going to make these big or small?
Personal preference, I like to make them a little smaller because then it cooks faster. I am not exactly a patient chef, as I am obviously having trouble with the leaves.
Well, I'm a patient eater, so...
Yeah, but you're hungry too, so you want this to go faster, right?
I'm hungry.
He's sitting in the other room. When can we start?
The other room being the bathroom.
There's only 2 rooms in this house. Alright, so again, it's okay if they break. You can even, you know, purposely do it. And since they're hard, as you can tell, as I'm peeling them, they're snapping. Yeah. You want to throw them into some boiling water. Doesn't have to be overflowing or anything crazy, but some really hot water, and it'll start to wilt. It'll start becoming manageable, and you can wrap it around the meat. Throw in a couple pieces. Don't want to overdo it, because then you'll never get them all out of there, and they're not going to start cooking. You push them in there. Please use tongs. Safety. Tong.
What if someone don't have tongs? Can they use their fingers?
No, chopsticks.
Oh,
2
chopsticks.
forks. You use 2 forks.
What about their feet? No? Okay. I got the look.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm going for. Alright, so while you're waiting for those, just keep prying these off here. Yeah, it's okay if they break. I'm going for edible, not pretty. And we'll set those aside because there's no room right now.
So how much did this cabbage cost?
So that's the other thing too. I know a lot of people that don't cook because they think it takes too much time or things are too expensive to buy fresh, so they'll do fast food or something quick and easy like a ramen. It's really not that expensive. Cabbage is really cheap. I think it was 68 cents a pound. Ended up paying $2.18 for it. The ground pork, obviously this much.
Yeah.
Comes in a flat package like this in the meat section. And it was $5.17, and the most expensive thing was actually the can of tomato soup, was $2.84. And you can get an off-brand. Some things I don't want to sacrifice on. Some things you can get an off-brand. It doesn't make a difference. Other things I'm a little nervous about. So I got a major name brand, insert name. I'm sure we all know who makes a lot of soup.
Does it rhyme with Bam Bells? Or Dan Bells?
Dan Bells. I love Dan Bell. He's one of the inspirations for doing a YouTube channel. Alright. So I am failing at pulling those off, so let's check these out here.
What do we got going on over here?
See how much softer they are?
Yeah, they are pretty soft.
That one's still a little rough. And where you have the spine, the little stem here, sometimes I'll cut here to give you a little bit more pliability. But we're actually going to leave that for another minute. Let's see. here.
So it's pretty basic, pretty simple.
That's the thing. You can have it. It's really good. I don't throw a whole lot of spices. In fact, I think the last time I didn't put any spices in the meat or anything like that in the tomato soup. People think that cooking's expensive or it's a lot of hard work, and this is really easy. I mean, it's a little bit involved with boiling the cabbage, but that's just because it makes it pliable. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to do anything with this cabbage. And it's not expensive at all, and it's a lot healthier too. It's fun to do, and it's healthier than going to fast food. Don't get me wrong, I like fast food, but it starts to weigh on you after a while, and I don't just mean the scale. You know,
Oh, she made a joke. Ha 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 ha.
You got jokes up in here. No, because you start to feel it after a while. If you start eating greasy stuff, heavy stuff, and it's really not cheaper. If you get, a meal, like get one of the combos at fast food places anymore, you can be paying $8-10.
Yeah.
And this whole meal, probably all 3 items cost $10, but that's going to feed 2 people. And trust me, there's going to be leftovers. I take this stuff to work afterwards. So
Tons of leftovers.
Yep. So you're probably looking at a meal that costs like $2 a person.
Yeah.
And I'll probably do mashed potatoes with this, which also not expensive and not hard to do. I make mine garlicky. I throw fresh garlic in there, the jarred, the minced stuff. I prefer not to do a powder. You can throw parsley in there, chop up some green onions.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so now these are looking fairly pliable. I'm still probably going to cut them into smaller pieces just so that they bend easier. But now, not all that prepared. Get another bowl. You can get a bowl full of ice water, cold water, or nothing at all. I'll just use some cold water. But you want to pull them out of the heat and let them sit before you try to touch them.
What happens if you touch them?
It's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt.
I have accidentally touched stoves before. I've had sauces splatter on me. It is not.
I accidentally touched the stove once and ended up having grilled cheese.
You're so cheesy.
That's why I had grilled cheese.
Notice I have to explain his jokes.
She explains my own jokes back to me. One time I said knock knock, she said you better answer the door. Look at this. What we got going on? Over the shoulder shot. Oh, look at this.
Yep. Gonna keep going in an assembly line. Thank you, that's my ear. Just keep adding more into that while the other ones are cooling down.
So the other ones you pulled, they're cooling down. That's ice water? Cold water, right?
Good luck with our ice. We
True.
have issues with our ice trays. So that's why I kind of gave up on it.
If you put cabbage in ice water, does that make it an iceberg?
Oh, that's lettuce. Let us move on. So, want to spray your baking dish. These things get a lot of use. These are my grandmother's. Now, hopefully it's not too hot. Do you want me to add any spices to the pork, or you just
However you want to do it. If it's not, then I can add it later.
We'll add in a little bit. I'm not going to overdo it. Do salt, pepper.
Push it. You said salt and pepper.
A little bit of garlic powder, maybe some onion powder.
Look at her go to town on that.
What? Oh, the pork tends to be a little salty to me anyway, so. Yeah, go ahead, sailor, make a joke. Some garlic.
Once I wanted to buy some salt, ended up being assaulted.
Where's my onion powder? Alright, so we had salt, pepper, some garlic powder, some onion powder. Those are my staples. Those are the 4 spices I tend to use the most. Paprika is a close 5th. And I've also got more comfortable with cumin and cayenne pepper, but I use that sparingly because you like that. I don't.
I love it. I love hot stuff. That's why I like looking at myself in the mirror.
Oh God. I have some ground ginger for whenever I do Chinese food. Parsley flakes.
So, if a ginger actually ate ground ginger, would that be cannibalism?
Is this your show or my show?
Your show. Look at this face.
Ah! All right. So we've got the spices in here. We're going to mix it up. I can still feel some, not frozen bits, but a little bit colder, harder to mash. She did the mash. She did the most of mash. All right. And yes, this stuff does not come off your hands.
No?
No. So I don't know if people towel dry this, put it on a rack to dry it. I really don't care if it's a little bit wet. So you're going to grab a handful
Okay.
of the pork.
A handful of the pork?
Yup, maybe about that much.
Okay.
And again, I don't make it pretty. I don't really care. I just start balling it up. Now I really like cabbage, so I might actually wrap this 1 or 2 more times.
Go ahead.
But that's okay right now. Well, I gotta see if I've got a smaller piece that I'm able to do that with.
I like cabbage.
I like Santa. Alright, so now that my right hand is not usable at all, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. So you cut that spine and it maneuvers a lot easier. So then I just do another fold because I really like cabbage.
So if you're wearing jewelry, do you take it off, like rings and stuff?
Yep, I had to do that. I didn't earlier when I
Yeah.
first defrosted it and I pulled it out and I started like squishing it together and I was like, ugh, I regret this decision.
She sounds like Pat.
I do that a lot. Ugh, are you guys on the beach that hate everything? Ugh.
Or
Yeah.
Cher.
If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that hurt you, and you'd say, I don't know why I did the things I did. Alright, enough of that. I'm going to do that for Halloween one of these days, because I know it would be awesome.
Cosplay.
Alright, and... Alright, so folding it up pretty good. And just set it in there. Alright, I gotta switch these out. Is that your stomach?
That's my boots. My boots actually totally rub together.
That's awesome. Now we have all of the Polish hand grenades are wrapped up. Again, it's not pretty, it's just edible. Any extra cabbage that I had boiling, I kind of rip up and place on top because I love a lot of the extra cabbage, not just the meat.
Yeah.
So now I'm opening up the tomato soup. Now this is fun getting out of here sometimes. We'll actually need a spoon to pull all of it out. But you pretty much start drizzling
I like the colors.
it. Yay, Christmas! No, please, we just got over that. No more Christmas. And then I don't even cover it. I just throw it into the oven. About 375. Sometimes our oven runs a little hot, so it'll end up being like 400. But uncovered, just put it in there. You can use a meat thermometer. Thermometer?
Thermometer?
Mr. Belvedere. Thermometer. You can use a meat thermometer, which I have. I don't typically use. I'm pretty good at guessing. Usually take about 40 minutes for those. But if you wanted to know, poultry is good at 165 degrees. So I'll leave that out. Maybe I'll use it. So go ahead and stick her in the oven. Yeah, she's running a little hot. She's at 400. And this isn't really something I worry about rotating, but if it makes you feel better halfway through, 20 minutes in, you can turn it around. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Say hi. Say we're about to eat din din. So we're about to eat some din din. She's so sleepy. Aww.
All right, it has been a little more than 40 minutes now. I'm going to say it's been 45 or 50. Got mashed potatoes made. I figured I didn't need to go into detail how to do that. And here is the stuffed cabbage. Now, I can use a meat thermometer. I'm pretty good at knowing that they're done, but just for accuracy. Always shut your oven off. So you're looking for 165 for pork. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. And it's taking its sweet time. You can always cut it too.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, I know it's done. Oh, there she goes.
It's moving. Homemade mashed potatoes.
Oh yeah.
My baby makes the best.
Garlicky, red smashed potatoes. One, the skin's actually pretty good and it's good for you too. I'm lazy and I don't want to peel it. Go up to 165.
It's moving up.
Slowly. Slowly.
It's like the Jeffersons is moving on up.
While it's moving up, I'm going to do a dish real quick. Just so I don't have 5 million dishes to do later. Alright, so the temperature did not go up to 165. I don't think that matters. I'm pretty sure this is done. But I'm going to cut one open and check. I always go for a spoon because I like having that juice. Oh yeah. Look at that.
Oh, I wish everybody could smell it. It smells wonderful, boo.
Dang on. Alright, so we're going to go over here.
Okay.
I just want to cut into it to be sure. I'll be really disappointed if it's not done.
There's steam coming off.
Nope, it's done.
It's done.
No
All
pink.
done.
It's all
Done.
good.
Done.
I can get some mashed potatoes on there. Like I said, it's not pretty, but it's edible. Boom. Just like Grandma used to make.
There's a mill right there. Look at that.
Yup. That's pretty much all she wrote. Get some rolls, some wine rolls, because you're in Florida. That is pretty. That is pretty.
Beautiful, baby.
I take it back, it is pretty. I was aiming for edible, but it's pretty too.
Good
Next
job,
one.
babe.
So next one, because the nice thing about cabbage is it's not expensive and you tend to get a lot, even if you just get a small head of cabbage. So I still have a good bit left, and it's the center part. It's not super leafy. That is great for doing spring rolls. So I'm going to do my Vietnamese spring rolls in the next recipe.
Sounds good.
All right.